Talk about everybody's favorite topic, change. How many of you love change? Live for it every day. Oh, you guys are sucking up. We know it. The truth of the matter is that change sucks. We all hate it, and it's because as humans, we are programmed to not like change. Right? It's part of our DNA. It's part of the way our brains are wired. We like patterns. We like to know things are comfortable. Now, here's a little example. Everybody, remember playing Here's the Church, Here's the Steeple, all of that? I want you to take your hands and just clasp them like that. Okay? Yeah? Now, look and see which thumb is on top. All right? The thumb that is on top is representative of which brain is dominant in your life. So if your left thumb is on top, your right brain dominant. If your right thumb is on top, your left brain dominant. Now, here's what I want you to do. Feel how that feels comfortable and safe, right? Now I want you to take them, open them up, and put the opposite thumb on top and see how that feels. Weird, huh? Right? Now, all right, so think about this. If that little bitty change feels uncomfortable to your brain, what happens when you make a big change? But you see, the thing is, as human beings, we are literally programmed not to like change. Now, in our brains, it starts with our brains. In our brains, we have our reptilian brain, we have a limbic brain, and we have a neocortex. The reptilian brain is all about, guess, instinct. Caveman brain, right? The limbic brain is all about emotion. The neocortex is all about logic and fact. The neocortex is the largest, the limbic is the second largest, and the reptilian is this tiny, tiny piece of our brain. However, the reptilian brain controls our instincts, our caveman programming. And as part of our reptilian brain's programming, one of the things that it programs is fight or flight. Everybody know what that is? So when you're in a threatening situation, like this nice young man in here is running at me, I'm going to go, and I'm going to want to either fight him or flight. What most people don't know is that any time you have an uncomfortable situation, like a change, your reptilian brain goes, fight or flight, fight or flight. And so what do? You fly. You back away from it. It's caveman programming that is embedded in us as human beings. So there's one way we get programmed, and we can't even know it's going to happen. It's instinctual. It's not even unconscious. It's instinctual. Then you add the fact that, we all get programmed through our lives, right? I mean, let's face it, we are natural-born learning machines. So we learn from our parents, we learn from our sisters and brothers, we learn from our teachers, we learn from our friends, and we get all of these things that we know to be true. We know it, right? They're knowns. And then we go out into the professional workforce and we learn what we're good at, we learn what we're bad at, we learn what we really don't like to do, probably because we failed at it. We learn what we really love to do because we've been successful and we've done it again and again and again and again in the same pattern. We go into a business, and what's the first thing you teach new employees in business? Here's what we sell, here's our value, here's what our customers think of us, and here's how we do things. So now here we are with all of this programming, right? And then you add simple things. How many of you get dressed in the same pattern, the same order every morning? Oh, come on, right? How many of you take the same route to work every day? How many of you walk into the office and the first thing you do every morning is turn on the computer and read your email? Patterns. Patterns all around us. And there's nothing wrong with patterns, but the problem is when we get stuck in a belief or a process or a pattern and the world around us changes and we're still sitting there with the same pattern or belief or process, that is gravity. Gravity is applying yesterday's news to today and tomorrow's opportunities when everything around us is changing. And we've all done it. Think about how many of you's business is the same as it was 5 years ago? Oh, good. 2 years ago? 1 year ago, 6 months, 3 months, right? And yet what are we doing? We're over here going, I'm doing it as fast as I can. I'm doing more. I'm doing the same thing I always did, and I'm doing it faster and more of it. And I'm working harder than ever before, and I just don't know why it's not working. I'm working 100 hours a week. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm sending out more emails. I'm doing more event notifications. I'm talking to more people. I'm driving more value. The way we've always done it is the reason for the mess we're in, and that is gravity. So if you think about pilots, when a pilot's flying a plane, is a pilot flying the plane based on what happened 500 miles ago, or is the pilot flying the plane based on what's right in front of him? You hope they're not doing it based on 500 miles ago when that was clear air and this is a thunderstorm, right? They adapt continuously based on what's in front of them, not their past. Pilots do not allow their past to predict their future. We shouldn't either. Pilots also, they have a destination. We have a market destination that we want to arrive at and we want to attach that market. They have a destination where they want to get the plane. Do they take the flight plan no matter what? If there's wind shear in front of them, or there's a thunderstorm, or there's 30 bumps at 30,000 feet, do they just keep following that plan? I hope not. I hope not. I hope they go around the thunderstorm. I hope they drop out of 30,000 feet. I hope they adapt. So pilots, if you think about it, pilots' flight plans are no different than our business plans. Right? They have an environment where they're flying, they have a destination, they have dynamics that are changing all around them, and as they go forward, if that flight plan doesn't work, what do? They change. They don't focus on the past and what happened yesterday, they focus on what's right in front of them, and they evolve based on what's right in front of them. Could we do that in our business? Yeah. Yeah, we can. So pilots, the other thing about pilots that's really interesting is as the plane's going down, do you think they keep doing the same thing over and over and over again? No, they're changing. They're trying different things. If what they're doing isn't working, what do? They stop and try something else. In the meantime, we have a business plan. And it's written in stone, and by gosh, I'm going to follow that business plan, and no, it's not working, and no, it's not working, but man, if I just give it another month, or give it another 2 weeks, or another 3 weeks, or that event plan, or whatever, I know I'm going to get them because I'm going to follow the plan. What would happen if when we found out it wasn't working, we actually took a step back and said, gee, what can I do differently? What's a different idea?